This episode of Riffs on Riffs is brought to you by DistroKid.
Don't miss a special offer on November 19th from Botox Cosmetic on Botulinum Toxin A, the one and only product of its kind FDA approved for over 20 years. Buy one $50 gift card and get one free while supplies last. Terms and conditions apply. For prescribing information and box warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Well, hello, and welcome to Riffs on Riffs, where today, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to have to do the whole episode like this. Our identities cannot be revealed. I'm afraid that, truthfully, Tobe, I'm a little scared of this title of this song because it's worried that it's going to lead to some dissolution and like acidic decline in our own relationship. Like, there's a lot packed into today's episode, and I don't even know how to start, Tobe. Also, I need some sleep, so there's a lot of things colliding.
Yeah, I would say a penny for my thoughts, but I think today I have a token for my thoughts would be much better. Riff Nation, today Joe and I are going to be discussing the band, the mysterious Sleep Token, and their song Aqua Regia. So I really want everybody to know that, like mathematics, there are orders of operations, right? There's a way to introduce new music to Tobe, right? There's a way to introduce
I feel like Joe's about to get flogged here for failing.
No, not flogged. Not flogged. I mean, I love
Mistakes were made.
Listen, mistakes were made. So several weeks ago, Joe says to me, "Hey, Tobe, I got music I want to send to you." And I'm like, "Hey, Joe, this is the perfect time for me to listen to new music because right now I am at the grocery store. I am in the aisles of Kroger. This is the perfect time for me to listen to
I didn't
music
know that.
right now."
Okay.
So I'm like, no, just go ahead and do it. I mean, I'm not doing anything, that I can't listen to music, nothing too crazy. So he sends me the song. And the song what song did you send me?
It wasn't this one. It was a song called "The Summoning" by Sleep Token.
It most definitely wasn't this one. It most definitely wasn't this one. So let me give you a backstory here for a second.
Settle in. This is going to be a good one.
My boy Brandon and I, we used to have a lot of fun with each other when we would part ways after like working on music for a long time. So we work on music like all weekend, and then it's time for me to go back home. And I'm like, hey man, I just got this CD. It's that fire, dude. This is that fire. You got to listen to this. And I give him a CD, right? And then I just get on the road and I would count. And this is me when I still lived in Columbus. So I'm driving 2 hours from Cleveland to Columbus, and I would count the hours between the time of drop off and the time he calls me to cuss me out because I left him absolute horrid trash music to listen to, like the worst. And so it just became like a game. He would do it to me, I would do it to him, and again, it wouldn't do it. You wouldn't know if it was a joke or not because he's also giving me really, really good music to listen to at the same time. But with you, we don't do that.
No.
You and I, we don't do that. So when you
send you
me
bad stuff, Tobe.
No, you send me stuff that you genuinely, like, and I'm like, I'm trying to listen to it. Now, I will say this: I didn't hate it. Like, it wasn't like Kraftwerk hate. It wasn't that, okay? But I didn't like it.
So let me interject because I sent Toby the song. So The Summoning is maybe one of their first big breakthrough hits. I think 264.5 million streams on it right now. It became some sort of internet thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the first half of that song is real heavy before the second half where it kind of takes a little pause and then it gets into this really groovy funk kind of jam. And I get a message back from Toby. I believe there were the phrase, "my ears are bleeding" was used. I believe there was a reference to your days way back in the day when you were in the throes of the rap metal universe and just how horrific that was. And that this took you back to that place. And so I've walked around with a tremendous amount of guilt from sending you that song because I feel like I triggered you and then I could never backpedal from that.
Well, all I said was, I don't remember exactly what I said afterwards. I don't know about ears bleeding. I just said, this is an interesting track. No, and that's how you kind of know code that Toby's not digging it. If I say, this is interesting, that's how you know Toby's just trying not to get super deep. But I really was trying to grasp on something that I could actually talk about with the track. Now, I did get to the point where the music broke, and I'm like, that is a very interesting vibe change. Like, they changed the entire track in midway. All I'm saying is this. Look, let me cut to the chase. Let me say this. There's a way to introduce stuff. Had you sent me this song, right? Yeah. Had you sent me the Aqua song, it'd have been completely different. Because to me, it's just like, how, from what I understand on how you cook lobsters or how you cook frogs, right? You warm up
slow
the water,
boil them,
gently slow boil them till you get there. And I think songs like this and also that other track, Caramel, that will get you. Like it will get you. I mean, I think literally, and I'm coming from being more hip hop, more jazz, more R&B, more church type of perspective or likes or tastes of music, and I'm like, this is all right. I feel you on this, and it's just different.
A little bit of all of those kind of thrown in this mix here.
It does, and that's why I'm excited to talk about the track. That's why I'm excited to talk about it, and and this group is such a mystery too. Like, I think that, and you can't help but be, drawn to it. And I was trying to, think of different groups that have done what they're doing. And I don't think that anyone is quite doing what they're doing. Not that I've heard of. Not quite. I mean, there are other groups at different parts and elements. Just for the people that don't know, like, Sleep Token is this band. They all wear masks, right? So you don't know anybody's identity. Cool. We've seen that happen with other groups before. That's fine. But they've actually created a cult following because they created a backstory to their band. and it's like the band is like, their band has a god named Sleep, right? And Sleep,
which is a god that has eluded me for decades now. So, you know.
Now I know why you're a fan.
That's right. If I just give a token, can I get a little sleep?
So the lead singer from this group is a guy named Vessel, which is so appropriate because he's a vessel from their god Sleep to sing and, I guess, speak through him to the rest of the world. And so, and they have a whole story. They have a whole, like, language.
All kinds of lore.
It's crazy. I'm like, how can you not be drawn to it? I mean, this is the stuff that other groups have wanted to do, but have, you know, fallen flat in doing it, or maybe didn't kind of accomplish it all. And here's the thing. And I'm probably going out of order, but it is what it is. These are how the thoughts are coming to me. This dude.
You were riffing, baby.
This dude
Keep going.
can sing. Vessel has a voice.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
He has a good voice. He could...
Look, from a pure talent standpoint, these guys are off the charts insanely good. Like, good. Like, top of the heap professional. Holy cow, that's amazing good. So, I would say... I'm really curious. Let's just start right there. So, I mean, his voice is fine. But I would say it's the least... I don't know. You're the vocalist, right? So tell me what you like about the voice and what you notice from a quality and technicality maybe standpoint.
Man, it's hard. It's hard to say, you know, because here's the thing. This dude can definitely carry a note. He for surely can carry a note. He's not afraid to hit the falsettos, right? We've heard him do that in songs. He's got the vocal range and training to be able to sing like the thrash stuff as well, like go hard, but not to the point, well, you know, where it's affected him, his performance. And I know that world. Like I've done both, and it's like, okay, for you to be able to do that, I'm giving it to you, and put it all in one song. Like sometimes, I mean, this is genre fusion, I think, at its best. And it's not just so the singing's fine, right? The singing's cool, but the dude uses a lot of harmonies as well. And his use of harmonies, particularly on the second verse of this song, or the second chorus, I should say, of this song, his use of harmony is like, okay, this dude has something. Like, I see what you're doing. So yeah, his voice it's not the best voice I've ever heard. We're not talking about, you know, the lead singer from Journey. We're not talking that. But what we are saying is that what he does with his voice works very, very well. Like, very well. And yeah, that's what I got to say with that.
So it's interesting you brought up nobody's really done it this way before. And I think you're right in that it's adjacent to things that have been done before, but it's really kind of putting a new, you know, if we think about metal bands that have been doing the mask thing and the secret identity thing, right? So actually, being from Cleveland, there was a band here back in the day called Mushroom Head, which was really kind of Slipknot before Slipknot became like the bigger, for whatever reason, they got signed but I mean, I went to high school with some of those cats, and they had the mask thing. They were playing metal and all of that. And then Slipknot kind of broke out of that. But we know who Corey Taylor is. We know who the band members are. It wasn't this whole super secret identity thing. It was, you know, it was for performance. And then you think of bands like, fun if you like sort of weird, it's like blood, guar kind of stuff, right? Or a band like Gorillaz, who have crafted this whole identity of fictitious characters. But again, we know who they are. We know who the musicians are behind the band. So they've created this universe, but they're not completely removed from it. Or even if we think of another one of my favorite bands kind of in this genre is Coheed and Cambria, where you think about lore and, you know, Claudio writing all those comic books and building this entire universe and then crafting concept albums around it and really quality, talented musicians. But again, we know who they are. And so to have this high level caliber talent just kind of say, I don't want anybody to know who we are, and stick to that is pretty amazing. And then I think what it allows the audience to do is really to kind of lean into all that lore and resonate with it, make up their own stories alongside of it. We can get into the characters because we're not stuck with somebody in between that. And so we have a direct access to the music we might not otherwise.
I think it is so counterculture, right? Because we don't know if this guy's gotten a driving ticket. We don't know who this guy's involved with. We don't know. And honestly, I don't care. It's literally just about the music. It's just literally about the product that he's giving us, and whether that be the graphic novel that they're putting together, whether it be that or just the music itself, the story, the runes that they're crafting and creating. I mean, all of that. That's all you get. That's all you get. I respect him crazy because he's like, look, you want music? I gave you music. You don't get me. You don't get like all of that. I'm just creating this person, and I loved it. Now, so on the hip hop side of things, you have an artist like MF Doom is the one that kind of comes to mind with the mask and the mystery right behind it. Like why is he wearing it? And his name has been, identified, but he stuck true to wearing that mask and that style. I loved it. It just creates, especially if you're good. And all of these acts you just mentioned are all good. They're all good. But to take it to the next level, and I'm thinking that is what Sleep Token is doing, because I think that they have a tribal quality, like in the Aqua song, they have a tribal quality very similar to Imagine Dragons. So they put that in there. So there's like an Imagine Dragons type feel to it. But then on the piano parts of this song, the chords are like, I'm looking for John Baptiste. I'm looking for John Legend. I'm looking for someone.
And there's a reason, because they're standard jazz voicings. Like the progression is, you're going to hear this in jazz all the time. And this is what I'm going to jump ahead, because I feel like a lot of times in an episode you say, hey, who would you like to... Oh, I've been saying for years...
I got to hear this.
...that I want somebody to work with Taylor that just gets her a little bit out of her comfort zone. Nothing crazy, but there's such an opportunity to make her stuff, which is already such well-crafted songs, just a little more interesting by playing with some of those jazz voicings, by playing with the syncopation like they do in this song. I would love Vessel to sit in a room with Taylor and just like crank out some music, because I think it would be amazing. And here's the other thing I learned that it's a music term that I've heard before, but I didn't really understand kind of what it was, because ostinato. And it's basically this idea that you've got a motif or a phrase that you're just repeating over and over. And what I think is so interesting about Aqua Regia is the vocal line is what gets repeated. And what's so cool about that vocal line is because it doesn't stray, any of those chords will work under it. So that to me is like the coolest thing, where you've got these really interesting piano voicings and then this steady overlay of the vocal, which is not at all what you typically have. Usually you've got these generic chords that are supporting a singer to go and do the runs and do some interesting harmonies and whatever. And so to kind of invert that is like, and I want to play with it actually. I want to just take and start shifting some of the chords and then see if that motif works over, because I think it will, absolutely. That's the kind of thing that is making pop music, not that this is quite pop, but modern music interesting to me.
This definitely is not pop. It's very popular, though. Very popular for sure, but it's not pop. So let me say this. I for surely have thought about people that I want this group to work with and team up with. I think it would be crazy. So let's stick to Taylor, though, real quick. The interesting thing about this group is that, again, just like you were talking about taking the voicings and playing around with the other chords that are in the same family, this dude takes the lore and takes it like, gives a derivative of that. Like, okay, the band name, the drummer is 2, right? One of the bass is 3. That's their name, right? And the other guitar player is 4. I'm like, okay. And then they have background vocals, right? For doing the live shows. Well, I'm thinking 5, 6, and 7. No, not that. No, the name of the vocalist is espera, right? Which means wait. Like,
yeah.
Like you see, are we waiting for sleep? Are we waiting to find out who they are? And they've actually, so you take all that, and then let me say this. In the spirit of all of that being said, if Taylor were to work as like a main vocalist working with him, I don't want anyone to know it's Taylor. I don't want anybody to know. And I got the name for her. It's
okay. Lay it on me.
Paciencia, which is patience, right? So you talk about wait, and now we have patience in Spanish. Fantastic. Put Taylor on stage with this group and let's go.
Put a mask on her. Give her some vocal tuning so you can't quite recognize it's Taylor.
Imagine her getting on stage and doing it, and then coming out with an album with this group. Oh
my goodness.
And then in the middle of one of their live shows, she takes the mask off. People will lose their minds. Because she's like, to some, she's like the exact opposite of what this group is. She's the exact but I'm sure she's been waiting for an opportunity to flex these type muscles and do stuff like this. We've seen Taylor rap before, right? We've seen her rap. She likes hip hop. She likes a lot of different type stuff. This girl started in country. She's doing different stuff. That would be fantabulous. But my goal, though, for this group, if I'm thinking way back when Linkin Park was very popular and when Jay-Z teamed up with them, how awesome that team up and that collaboration was. I'm thinking in the same spirit that if you had Kendrick Lamar team up with this group, that would be, the world would shift. Like, the world would move.
Yeah.
And he could do it.
Yeah.
These chords are Kendrick
totally
all day. He can absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. And if a drummer can play those type of, look, I know thrash drummers. I've met thrash. If they can do anything, all right? If you can do that's not easy stuff. It's not easy stuff.
Two's
sick.
He's insane. He's sick. Toby, do you ever? We should go on a whole Drumeo sidebar. Have you ever watched any of the Drumeo stuff?
I might have, but just maybe didn't know that it was Drumeo. But yeah, I'm familiar with it though.
A lot of times, they'll on their YouTube channel they'll bring on a drummer, and then sometimes they'll throw a song they've never heard and say make up a part on the spot. Right? It's always fascinating, even if you're not a drummer or even a musician. It's just on a human level. It's so fun to watch this stuff. But they did a behind the scenes or a playthrough with 2, and I forget which song it is. The mind and the technical skill of that human is pretty crazy. He's an elite drummer and well respected, kind of all around the world. So, and I know even Vessel, his piano chops, his writing chops are, and I don't know who's producing this stuff, but it sounds fantastic. It's so well mixed. It's just a joy to listen to. Everything in its right place. Even when it gets into some of the heavier stuff, a lot of times that can just turn into noise and mush and whatever. And in Caramel, when that, like at the I don't know, 3 minutes into the song, and it just drops that uber heavy, and he's screaming in that very metal style, but it feels very different to me than it does in a lot of similar vein artists who do that kind of thing. It feels like pent up raw emotion that is exploding. So you're feeling the emotion that comes with it, not this is a grating noise that comes with it. And maybe I'm assuming that's what's true for a lot of listeners of that genre, is that's what they always feel. But for me, Sleep Token really kind of hits that in a way that gets to the heart of the emotion and isn't distracting with some of the other stuff.
Well, yes, I think part of it that makes it not distracting, so to speak, or at least holds your attention, is that you can't pin them down to any one thing. I mean, imagine, like, we've all seen like Olympic wrestling bouts, right? I'm not talking WWE, right? We're talking Olympic wrestling, where you're trying to get somebody, you're trying to pin them down, and if you're trying to pin their music down and trying to paint them into one particular genre, they're gonna wiggle their way out every time.
Sometimes in the same song, three different times.
In the same song, dude. In the same song. That's why Caramel is just like, oh my God, like, dude, this is crazy. I can easily see somebody rhyming over this. Same thing with Aqua. I can easily see somebody rhyming to this. I could, so many different ways that you could take it. I could see somebody sampling it. I could see somebody doing a lot of different stuff. But
This episode of Riffs on Riffs is brought to you by DistroKid, your ultimate partner for taking your music to the next level.
With DistroKid, uploading your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music is easier than ever. Plus, you can easily pay your collaborators with splits and send large files securely to anyone with Instant Share.
And guess what else? You can get a YouTube official artist channel for free via DistroKid. You can send credits to stores, and you can use Hyperfollow to promote your release.
DistroKid has everything you need to succeed in the digital music landscape.
But that's not all. DistroKid now offers a convenient mobile experience with the DistroKid app, available on iOS and Android.
With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for the artists looking to perfect their sound, there's Mixia. With Mixia, you can put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time.
And if you need to share large files securely with collaborators, producers, or playlist curators, look no further than Instant Share. It's free to send up to 1 gigabyte of files, and your music will stream at the highest quality, making the best impression possible.
So why wait? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities.
Riffs on Riffs listeners get 30% off their first year at DistroKid by going to distrokid.com/VIP/riffsonriffs.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Unlock over $3,500 in business and travel value annually with statement credits on select purchases from brands like Dell, Hilton, and Adobe, and other benefits. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Based on total potential value of statement credits on select purchases and other benefits, enrollments required, monthly and other limits and terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
What made me pick this song, Aqua, over Caramel, had to do with the chords. I think that the piano chords, I was not expecting that at all. Like in Caramel, there's a piano solo that I wasn't expecting at all. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Which was cool, which was really, really cool. And I was about ready to text you, like, okay, man, we're doing Caramel. I'm not even gonna listen to the next song. But I say, wait a minute, let me go listen to Aqua real quick. And Aqua has a way that it starts, where it's just those, like the piano's notes, or the synth notes,
yeah,
and it kind of just sets it up, and even, so that's kind of mesmerizing. And then the lyrics come in, and he's got a couple of lines in there, which are like really like whoa, okay, all right. And to me it was just done deal. Like we're doing Aqua,
So let's talk about the lyric. What do you think this song is about for you?
When it comes to lyrics, to me, it sounds like he's just in a period of pain, frustration, not trying to be nice anymore when it comes to love. He's like, the one verse or the one line is said, putting down the roses, picking up the sword, like at least it's time to either defend myself or it's time to fight, And he said, my love is an animal call, cutting through the darkness, bouncing off the walls, between teeth on a broken jaw. So in other words, it feels like he's been hit. He's been hurt before in this whole love thing. And now he's trying to, protect himself. That's kind of what it seems to me. What did it say to you?
I mean, it definitely seems like a lot of their stuff. And I know this is off their 2023 album, Take Me Back to Eden, and they've got a new one out, which is equally stellar. But he seems he's becoming even more and more vulnerable. And I feel like Vessel is a vessel for all of our emotions and the things we experience in relationships and life and all the emotions and everything like that. I mean, if we just take the name, Aqua Regia, right? So that is Latin for royal water. And so it's literally an alchemical or chemical. I never know what the difference is. Like, is it alchemical when you actually combine stuff? Anyway, but what's cool about it and why they call it royal water is because it dissolves. It's an acid that will dissolve gold and will dissolve platinum. And I think the title of the song and some of the lyrics are referring to the dissolving of a relationship, but I don't necessarily know that means it's a negative, because it could be taken in my mind one of two ways. One, it's the dissolving of a relationship. I think there's a line in there that something about carbon, right? This idea that carbon chemistry or carnal alchemy, where we're both just carbon again. So potentially it's this idea that when we come together, there is this chemical reaction that allows us to dissolve as two and become one, and we're all going to be reduced to carbon again. That's one way. The other way is, wow, you are corrosive to me, right, and this has been real bad, so I need to get out. But I think in general, to me, this very much seems like kind of a pseudo-scientific nod to the joy and the tragedy of all relationships.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm gonna have to listen to it more times and to kind of just formulate a more developed opinion about what he's trying to say, because I think there's still messages in this, and he strikes me as a person that, just the way that they rolled out their past projects, 2-song EP here, 3-song EP here, the way they do it, I think that the project itself, there's a message probably in the project itself, like the way that the songs. So I think just listening to one song, you might not get the entire meaning of it. I'd have to listen to all of it, have all the lyrics there, and kind of go through that. I think that'd probably be the most fair thing to do. But he is a lyricist. He does create or paint images, which I appreciate a lot. I think he's doing a really he did some good things here. He did some really, really good things. Sugar on the blood cells, carbon on the brain, all of Eden's vices running through my veins. Now, again, so he brought up Eden, and this is off the album, right? Which is entitled, what's the album title again?
I think it's Take Me Back to
Eden, right? So he mentions Eden in this song, and I'm like, wait a minute, I bet there's like hidden messages and meanings all throughout the entire piece. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they said that this is the third album of what they said their first 3 albums were going to be a trilogy. So I don't know, but it does seem like there's a through line, thematic elements that are carried all the way through. And so Vessel has been, I'm not even going to give credence, because the band has never confirmed the identities of any of its members. It's never said yes or no or whatever. So very clearly, they have the intention of never doing that, at least in the near future. And so I fully respect that. Of course, the internet has figured out some of these people and whatever. I don't want to do any of that on this show, because again, I want to respect that. But it allows a certain amount of freedom to give voice to things that you can't necessarily do when everybody knows your name. And especially if you are wired to where it's the opposite of, I don't want the fame and the fortune. Maybe the fortune is good. I think every artist appreciates and desires adulation at some point, right? That's why we create things, so that we can go share it with the world, and we hope the world loves it. So, but I think what you see on their new album, what you see in Caramel, what you see in Damocles, when you see some of these new tracks, is we've heard it from tons of artists. Like this sucks in a lot of ways. This is crushing my soul. And he makes an allusion in some of the newer tracks to people at shows, yelling out his name, trying to get a rise out of him, right? Like just really poking the bear and seeing if like, again, it's this, and I think we've talked about this in earlier episodes. Audiences feel like they're entitled to things from the artists. And it's a really difficult space for an artist to put up a hand or sometimes literally put on a mask and say, no, I don't want to give you access to that. I want to give you access to my art. And please respect that. And I think that's real hard for people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, who knows the reason why he's doing it? Maybe, maybe it's just easier to sing with the mask on. I mean, it could be that, and just like, hey, if I'm going to do it, let's just create this entire backstory. This will be fun. Maybe he's doing other stuff musically that this does not necessarily gel with. Maybe he's got something like that. Maybe this is a famous person's son. Right? Imagine that. A famous person's son. Let's look at, since he's from England, let's just say, okay, this is one of the past 007 actors' son, right? Got James Bond's son out there singing to another guy. That's just weird.
Which Bond? Are we going like Roger Moore? Are we doing Sean Connery?
Take your pick. Take your pick.
One. Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, who knows, right? So, I get it, and I don't want to know. I don't care. I think we know too much now about certain people that I just wish we didn't know. Like I could care less. But but here we are, men of a certain age, and I think it's easier for us to say we don't care because we've met some of the people that we've put on pedestals and realized, man, that I could have saved that. Like they could have
never met your heroes,
I
right?
could have saved that. Now we have this opportunity. Just appreciate this dude's music. Just appreciate it. And go from there. I love what they're doing. I wish them the best of luck. I hope that they continue to make stuff and can continue to grow. And here's another thing too, Joe. I think because they've done things in this way, that when they're ready to quit, that they can literally just walk away and not have to deal with the pressure, like to come back and do something else. You can go to the movies or go to the to the grocery store and not have to worry or answer a bunch of questions. You don't have to move someplace really, really remote. You can just live. You can just live, right?
Live your life.
I mean, this dude goes on. I did a little bit of digging on their history, but I'm like, how does this work? No one knows their identity, or people have their guesses, and maybe some things have been exposed, whatever.
Sure.
But they're doing shows with like name groups, like big name groups, big tours. I'm like, you went on tour with Slipknot. You shared the stage with Metallica. Like, you've got Judas Priest, the main singer there calling out your name and saying like, this is a band to watch. I mean, you've made it. Like, their tickets have sold out. They have had shows that have sold out like in less than 10 minutes. I mean, the whole show. I mean, that is immense. And then when somebody starts, doing a little bit of digging, like I think they had a fan who was actually close to the group, started to expose some private details.
Yeah, you got doxxed, and which is horrible.
So then the group does what I loved. I love it. The group said, okay, no show, right? Cancel it. Walk away. We'll come back later. We won't tell you. Go. Oh yeah, dude. They just. It's kind of like your parents get your report card right before Christmas. They say, "Oh, is this is what you did? You did this? No, this can't be. This is not my Joe. No, this can't be my Toby, not my child. My child didn't do this. This is not it. Oh no, what were you doing in your room for hours every day? You know what?" And then they don't say anything. They just walk to your room and they grab your PlayStation. Let's just go. This is it. We got everything we need. Take your headphones, get your phone here. Got anything else that you need? Anything else you want? Just start taking stuff. Just take everything that you have. And I think that's what you got to do. It's like, okay, fans, you want to know that much? You want to know it that bad? Let's just stop. Let's just stop the music. We'll just stop and just walk away. I love it. I love it. It's the perfect F around and find out moment. This is the perfect moment for that. I love it. There's got to be consequences. This dude ruined it for everybody. And now everybody's got to...
Right. Don't be that
You've
guy.
been in the classroom before, right? Where you have one kid, Russell, in the back of the... Dude, you sit in the back. We all could pick seats.
How did you know it was Russell?
Russell. Right? It's
always
always Russell, right?
Jeez.
You know, sitting in the back. You sit in the back of the room for a reason. Dude, stop. Now you ruined it for everybody. We're going to have a
We just lost recess, Russell. How do you feel about
pizza
that?
party on Friday. What are we doing?
Man. Tell you what.
I don't know.
You know, that is a true story for me, Toby. I did have a kid in my class, well, a year older than me, a year above me, who had the same name. And his report card did get sent to my house.
Oh.
And let's just say he was not as good a student as I was. So that was a moment.
Oh my God. Oh, this can't be, this not my Joe. This cannot be my Joe. This is not my Joe. Dang.
So let me ask you this, Tobe. Why are we okay with artists, not authors, using pen names and pseudonyms and whatever, but we're not okay with musicians doing that?
Oh, that's a really good question. Why? Let me. People don't read as much as they used to. That's the answer. It's clear as day. It's so clear. People don't read. People, we're so about instant gratification now with everything. You know, I did something really, really interesting this week. I'm cutting down on costs, right? Everything's going up. It's just like it's a little bit too much for me. And of all things, Joe, my Spotify account was saying like, hey, Toby, your card has expired. We need a new card for you to continue on with this family premium plan. I took a stand. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'll go with the free account. And now I'm testing. Dude, you talk about sacrifice.
That is...
Because you know me.
I'm shocked
You know
at
me.
this
I don't know how
revelation.
long this is going to last.
It's not long. I'm taking the under for sure.
Dude, I said no. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm tired. If I really want to support an artist, now granted, you can still listen to songs by that artist. You just can't go specifically to that one song. If I pick it, you could send me a song to listen to and I could click on it and automatically get taken to that song. But if I try to put a particular song in there, dude, I can't even listen to the entire Clips album now on this free thing. I can't, it just goes random songs and I'm just like,
oh no,
I don't know if I can do this. But here's what I will say. You start to appreciate things more. And I appreciate, because sometimes they'll bounce to songs that I would not have necessarily listened to. And it won't let me skip a song or blah, blah, and I've got advertisements and things like that. It's like, okay, this Spotify knows he's got years upon years of knowing what I like to listen to. I've got playlists, dude. Do what you do. We'll see how long it lasts. But
it's like being back in the radio days where you just had to wait for that crappy song to end to get to the next one.
I know I'm sounding like that crazy get off my lawn type guy, but you've talked about it before. Just because of the way society is right now, with this instant gratification, everybody's addicted to their phones. We're using AI to do everything and not really thinking for ourselves. And now we have a generation of young men who don't know how to talk to girls. They don't know how to talk to girls. I know this seems so far and not connected, but I do think that it's connected because I think we've gotten lazy. We're cheating, in a way. We want things so quick, and just because you can have it quick doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have it. I want to work for it. Because now that I can't skip songs, it's like, well, you pick this song for me to listen to. All right, let's just listen to it. Let's take this journey. Let's just take this journey. And I appreciate the music on a different level. And if I want to hear a specific song, you know what it's going to make me do, Joe? I got to buy the album. I got to buy the album. And now I'm really going to support that group. Instead of giving them pennies, I'm actually going to, give them money.
Because you're going to save money on Spotify?
Yeah. I'm going to save money on Spotify and use the $24. The $24 I would spend on Spotify monthly to actually buy the album. Actually buy the MP3s. And actually, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah. No, I'm here for it, though. Yeah. I'm very curious how the Toby experiment ends.
I'll let you know.
I want to circle back to your idea that guys don't know how to talk to girls, because I felt like you were looking at me the whole time. I'm like, I know it, Toby. I don't know why you gotta call me out on
Joe,
that. But
stop.
But like, what do you think? Is it because I have a theory? I have a hypothesis. They don't have to. They've got the attention span that's already been whittled down by social media and reels and all the things. I don't have to talk to any. I know so many Gen Z and millennials who are terrified of having a phone conversation. Do you remember when we were a kid and we had landlines? Say, I'm gonna be get off my lawn right now. And we were forced to answer the phone, and we were forced to be polite and have a response to whoever was on the other side.
Well, you didn't know who was on the other phone. You didn't know who was on the other line, so you had to be polite, right? The worst thing would be if this fine girl from church named Clarice was calling your number and you answer the phone like a jackass. That's like the worst thing that could possibly happen. Not that I'm speaking, from experience at all, but go ahead.
Yeah, and so you just got reps in. Kids don't get reps anymore.
Nope.
They're sending texts, they're sending TikToks, they're doing all the things. I'm not in a school. I don't know how those interactions go, but every time I look around, everybody, and this is not young people, everyone is looking down at their devices. We're just not interacting in the same way. It's like anything else. You don't get the reps. How are you supposed to figure it out? And at what point?
Figure it out. That's the thing. You don't figure it out. And this is just a subset problem of the bigger problem. Because if you can't talk to girls, that's one thing. Obviously, it's going to cause problems and this, that, and the third. But the bigger problem is not being able to talk to people, period. You can't talk to, men, women, colleagues, whatever. You can't communicate effectively. You're afraid to communicate. You don't see the importance of that. You don't know how to develop rapport. That's a problem. And, I don't even know what to say about all of that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. Kids asking me to get interns, right? To get letters of recommendation. I've had some kind of interaction with them, either through the schools or through my job or whatever, and they can't respond to texts, at an appropriate time. The follow-up is just weak.
Or they just don't respond
at all. And it's like, wow, what happened? And it's the person I really feel bad for. I feel bad for my son, because when I come home after one of these experiences, I always try to sit him down like, look, and don't you be this dude that can't respond. I text you for whatever, respond back, that kind of thing. So
I do want to, because I don't want this to sound like we're getting on the younger generation, because the other thing that I think is missing is context. These poor kids have gone through a pandemic where they were locked down for 2 years and had no ability to have contact. We've all been harmed, and I use that word intentionally, by phones and social media. And guess what? Their brains are not fully formed. And so I think the harm is we don't even know the long-term effects of that. They've seen what's going on with our generations and the old generations older than us, and looking at that life and saying, man, you're working your tail off. You're miserable to be around. You haven't figured out how to get a healthy work-life balance. And they're looking at all of it and saying, yeah, I don't want that. Also, what are the opportunities for me? Because the economy's in the tank. AI's taking our jobs. I don't know what our future looks like. So I feel like they're really they're set up for lots of things that I don't know that we could figure out, and why we're expecting them to do it, and then coming down on them and with our old school mentality and saying, you need to be in the office with your butt in the chair for X amount of hours per day is insane. So yes, is there things that they're missing out on and they could be better at? Absolutely. But what have we done to make that happen?
Yeah, I can't disagree. We do have to rethink everything. We have to rethink everything. I don't think anything that we do now, right now, when it comes to technology, way of life, the way we approach jobs, relationships, music, food, and food preparation, developing rapport, all of that should be questioned. And I think the new kids, these later generations, I think that they are willing to challenge that and ask why,
yes,
which is
and good for them.
great. But the problem is if you don't have respect for the previous generations and what they've done. And I think the previous generations need to take responsibility of like these kids, like, dude, we made it that way. We're the ones who developed the technology to give them all of this. We, and granted, we know how to develop rapport, but we gave that to kids way too early, way too early. We didn't put enough safeguards on it because you have parents who's like, well, that's a really good distractor. They put them on YouTube. It's a really good, instead of me being, having to parent, we'll let electronics do it for us. And, you have, the sword cuts both ways. I mean, here we are. If we bring it back to this music thing, here we are with this guy, Vessel, right? Who is this band, Sleep Token, has been genre bending stuff, fusion and this, that, and the third. And I appreciate a band that can thrash, a band that can play jazz chords and then turn around and do a Whitney Houston cover. Like, I just want to dance with somebody like you did it. And so you got to say, you know what? Thank God for the internet and things like that to expose all of this stuff and say, you know what? There's other people out there that are changing things around and breaking the rules. And thank God that they have internet to kind of show examples of that, because, the next generation's version of Sleep Token, when Sleep Token are men of a certain age, and now we have the new group called Woke Pennies, right? The new group can learn all of what this group did, and hopefully, add something in even more special, add something even more different. I'm excited for that, but it does cut both ways.
When you talk about inspiration, I think what this band does is it gives young musicians something to shoot for and something to get excited about. I grew up and I was still am, big Rush fan. Incredibly technically talented lyricists, musicians, cream of the crop, all of that. And that inspired me amongst, 100 other artists, thousands of other artists to pursue that and pursue getting good on an instrument and learning how to make some of those sounds and have and experience that for myself. I think that's what bands like Sleep Token we need more of, because they're so technically gifted. They are inspirational in that way. It's like, wow, you are combining that genre and that genre and that genre in a way that works. And it's seamless within one song. And you mentioned John Baptiste. There's a new track that he's got out now. I have to look it up because I forget who the MC is on it, but a well-known MC. But it's doing the same thing. It's got his jazz voicings, and it's moving music forward in a way that is looking at the past, but it's building on the crossover of some of these genres in a way that it makes it accessible to pop music, which I think we haven't seen probably in a while.
Oh, I agree.
I think you'd have to go back to, maybe 70s era Steely Dan or something like that, which is not one of my favorite bands, but I appreciate what they did. But so I'm excited for this generation to be inspired by bands like Sleep Token.
I agree. I think every generation has to do their job. And I think that, the generation of like Swiffers, right? The Swifties, what have you. They brought Swiffers.
Did you just call them
Yeah,
Swiffers? I'm going to steal that. That's amazing.
So, but they brought back the importance of lyrics, and I actually like listening to it. And then you had Olivia and all the rest of them kind of came after her, like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. And I think in a way it is standardizing, rewriting standards. Like whatever the standard was, we're standardizing rewriting of those standards. And I think that is great. It's erasing boundaries or erasing borders. And whenever you can do that, it leaves an element of surprise because you're taking a chance. The song will work or it won't work. But if you erase a boundary, you're going to end up in a different longitude and latitude, and you don't know where you're at. That can be exciting musically. That can be exciting technologically. And we as, humans need to explore and push for that. But as with everything else, I think we still need to cite the source and be able to reboot and be able to come back in case we go too far. We can actually, have breadcrumbs to take us back to where we were before, just in case we go too far. But with all that being said, I'm excited too. I mean, I know we just get on here and we riff. We started talking about music, then we got to talking about young men not being able to talk to girls, and we're talking about everything in between. But I do think it's all connected. I really, really do think it's all connected. I think you are what you eat. And I think if you consume the right type of music, if it's genre bending or whatnot, this is something that you can get. And the show that I was watching right before we got on, it was a black cat on YouTube. And it's like, man, you're going to watch a live reaction. I'm going to listen to this song and I'm going to tell you my honest feelings about it. And he's like, look, when I share music with people, I hang with people that look like me. It's a black dude. Hang around other black cats. And we talk, and they ride in my car, and I'm listening to something like this. People give me a weird look, like, yo, what do you got us listening to? But he's trying to expand people's appetite and say, like, look, trust me, give the song a good 2 minutes. And the beautiful thing about sitting in somebody's car when you're not driving, it's not your car, is that it's very similar to that whole thing about like listening to an album like on vinyl as compared to a CD. It's like you can't skip. It's not your car. No, it's not your car.
Hands
Greg
off the radio.
is driving. It's Greg's car. Gregory, right? If you're not paying for gas, it's Mr. Gregory, right? So you have that. And I think, to me, it forces you to listen. And it's like, and this is one of those things. So I just kind of got to give you a shout out. It's like, man, I wasn't feeling this band before. And now I'm like, man, I could see wanting to watch them perform at a concert, like live, and just sitting in the balcony and just watching them perform, because I've seen this dude on stage and like, okay, I can rock with that. Like I can do that. I would love to I can be in a room where this is going on, because just this performance, because it's, he's in it. He's all the way in. So good stuff.
You're going to pull up this band's catalog. They've got 4 albums out now. And depending on which song you land on, it could be a very different experience. And I think if you don't like the first one, I mean, start with this one. I think this is a great gateway drug to Sleep Token. I think Caramel, I think Damocles, I think something like Alkaline, there's stuff on their first album. In fact, they did a whole instrumental, just no vocals, of their first album, which is great to listen to. Just dip your toe in the water. Pretend you're in Toby's car and he's driving, so you can't, you've got to listen. But even this song, I think this song slow rolls into, it's 2 minutes in when you get to those, those like really tasty chord voicings in the chorus that really just kind of make you stop and go, huh, I didn't hear that coming. And that's pretty fun. So that's our challenge to you, dear listeners.
Please do it. Please do it. Trust me. Music that can surprise you. Music that can surprise you pleasantly or unpleasantly, right? Depending on what kind of music you like. But it's nice. It's nice. It's very, very nice listening to the first verse and chorus of a song, and then you're going into the second verse and chorus and not knowing what's going to happen. It's nice that music still has a bridge or a solo part for it. Like that's nice.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of that now. And music has changed. We used to have 3 verses in hip hop songs. 3 verses. Now you're getting 2. And listen, some of the songs we've listened to have had the same verse 2 times in a row.
They just repeat it. Yeah.
You talk about lazy. I mean, what's your excuse? You just saving paper? I don't know, man. I'm confused. What are we doing? I get it, maybe one song, but she did a couple songs. What are we doing? I'm sorry. You just said it in a different voice. It's the same words. I'm tired of it. There's no excuse, man. Lazy. If you do that, I should get like half, whatever the original cost is, I should get like half off. You
want listening credits?
Yeah, what are we talking about? I paid for 2 verses. You gave me 1 twice. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But it's neither here nor there.
I need more Toby rants in my life. I need this. I need you to go full Muppet.
Why don't we get things started? Well, hey, this is a great song. I enjoyed talking about it. Riff Nation, I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you get a chance, take up Joe's challenge and listen to Sleep Token. And you know what? Challenge us with a song or group to listen to as well.
The Stuck Into the Car challenge. That's what we'll call it.
Let's do that. Respond back on Facebook or on Instagram. Let us know what you want us to listen to. Hey, we're at Riffs on Facebook and on Instagram as well. Let us know. Let us know what you're listening to, or what your spouses have made you listen to, or what your children are making you listen to, and we will respond in kind. With that, Joe, you have anything else you want to say?
That's it. I'm going to steal the dismount today. So thank you all. Keep listening. Huzzah.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
If you work in marketing, your tabs tell a whole story. 1 for the deck, 1 for the logo, 3 for the versions you're afraid to delete. Dropbox Dash searches across all your tools, then helps you draft copy that actually hits. Because stuck isn't a strategy. Learn more at dropbox.com/dash.